Tonight on Cosmic Cantina, they're out there. They're watching. They want you. But don't worry, you don't have to let them in. On our 50th episode, we're exploring the idea of otherworldly demons that can enter your life, but only if you invite them to cross over your threshold. The threshold is an idea that dates back to older than time itself. But it's an important concept to know if you want to avoid interdimensional baddies touching you inappropriately. So strengthen your resolve and find your inner peace, because it's time to get weird. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and every week I go to my favorite bar, Cosmic Cantina, and kick back with my co-hosts, Josh Golombeski and Matt O'Connor. We talk about aliens, Bigfoot, ghosts, ancient cultures, and anything from the unseen world that needs a little illumination. Welcome to Cosmic Cantina. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and tonight I'm in my red wine kick. I'm drinking a Pinot Noir because I'm classy. Ooh. Matt, what are you drinking?
I picked up a couple of different kind of ciders from the Stem Brewery, cidery, if you will. I got the Hibiscus Session apple cider, which is delightful, and then a rosé cider. It's like
rosé all
like
day,
red wine
bitches.
And cider, and it's like, man, it's good stuff. Anyway, Josh, what do you got?
Tonight I'm enjoying myself a velvety, nice Cabernet Sauvignon from California. Just fucking kidding. I'm drinking Ghostfish, bitches. Like I'm ever going to change from that. Come on now,
I was
Ghostfish.
actually impressed. I'm like, yes, finally, something different. Nope.
I felt a little uncomfortable. I didn't think we were going to make it through this episode. Why?
Yeah, Ghostfish, best gluten-free IPA out there. All from Washington. I think it's Seattle. I hope I got that right, because they're my first love, and I should know details, like birthdays, which I always forget my kids, but I'm not going to say that. But I did.
But
anyways, I'm fired up for this podcast, guys. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to get into possession of demons and crossing over the threshold, if you will. We have lots of cool stories and, of course, ancient crap we're going to talk about. But if you haven't read already, it's big news. Harry Reid confirms federal government covered up UFOs for years. This is from, I believe, the new Phenomenon that we talked about, the new movie, right?
Yep.
Isn't he's in this, So, me, and I don't know about you guys, but, like, I feel like this isn't new news, but it is now, like, mainstream people are like, oh, my God, it's real.
Yeah, he's
feel
literally
the same
said
way?
the same thing before in different interviews, but it wasn't a big deal. But now, for some reason, this movie came out, and he says it this time. Everyone's like, oh, shit, Harry Reid's dropping UFO bombs, you know? I don't get it, but hey, more attention's better.
Texts I got? I got so many texts with this article that I was like, yeah, but he's been saying this for years. I don't understand. Like, you guys, it's nothing new. It's so funny. So I'll just, you know, in case you haven't heard, and I'm just being a dick, and you're like, I've never heard of Harry Reid, let me just read the article a little bit. It's on Huffington Post. This one is. It's all over the place. But former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said the U.S. government has been hiding key details about UFOs for years. Why the federal government all these years has covered it up, put brake pads on everything, stopped it. I think it's very, very bad for our country, he says. He then goes on to say that they talk about, obviously, the U.S. Navy pilot situation that happened in 2004, but they also go into details of a 1967 report to which an object appeared over a U.S. missile base at the same time. 10 of the missiles became inoperative. And he says, quote, if they had been called upon by the president for launch, they couldn't have been done because the UFOs had stopped them. So that's, these are just quotes literally from the movie, which is fantastic. But again, you guys, Harry Reid has been saying this for quite some time, so it's not new. Mm-hmm. I think that mainstream is really getting this kind of push to, like, throw out there that, like, wow, UFOs could be real. Just kind of like, it's like once every month we get, like, a little bit of something new. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, slow drip disclosure. Yeah. My worst fears are happening.
Yes, stuff is coming out in little dribbles, but I don't feel like it's like the same thing over and over again. In fact, I think I read this new Harry Reid thing was that one of the titles of the articles was he doubles down on something he said earlier, and I was like, all right,
yeah.
Cool.
He's in Vegas. He's doubling down.
Yeah, that sounds sexy, but really, when you say double down, that means you're saying it again. Like it just sounds like more powerful.
Yeah.
I think it's good though. I mean, just to be quickly wrap this up in a bow, like it's important this is getting out there. Sometimes it takes multiple times for someone to say something. It's good it's getting into the mainstream. It's all part of the slow drip disclosure. The Phenomenon's a great movie, and I think it's all positive. Again, though, he's only bringing up nuclear missiles being shut down. It's a threat to society. I just worry it's all part of a larger agenda to disclose this with a fear-based agenda behind the agenda. Mm-hmm. But I digress. You've heard me rant for hours about this. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we have tons of episodes about it. So we're not going to do this. We're going to get into because it's October and we need to talk about possession because it's fun. But yes. So just so you know, yes, we saw the Harry Reid article. Interesting. Glad lots of mainstream people that aren't into this are reading it. Yeah. But let's move on. Okay. Possession. Demons. So apparently, this is not a new phenomenon. Okay, cue it. Digging in the dirt.
So dirty.
Stop it, you guys. This article. Oldest depiction of ancient Egyptian demons has been found. A Belgium-based Egyptologist has discovered the oldest depictions of ancient Egyptian demons, showing that demonic entities populated the ancient Egyptians' imaginations as far back as 4,000 years ago. He presented this recently at an international conference on ancient Egyptian demonology. So there's literally a conference. I didn't even know this until I read this article, that there's a conference on ancient Egyptian demonology. They just talk about that.
Those dudes like to party.
Yeah. You know they fuck.
You
Definitely
know it.
fuck.
You know it.
It's just all demons and fucking.
It's like Eyes Wide
demons.
Shut, but with like Egyptian pantheon outfits on. It'd be kind of fun.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
anyway.
in.
Yeah, you know, that sounds pretty good.
Just bring your ghost fish because they're not going to serve that there.
Ghost fish for life.
So there's a 4,000-year-old leather roll that the researcher had previously discovered in the shelves of the Egyptian Museum of Cairo. It's kind of been sitting there for 70 years. And then they open it up and they analyze it. And then we'll of course we'll put this article up on our website so you can check it out. But they have these images of these demons that look like they're kind of possessing the people. They have a couple of demons that show how they like rip people's heads off, and that one of them's guarding a fiery gate that's restricted, it's concealing a divine image behind it, but it's protecting it. And then there's a couple other demons that have like bird kind of features or black feline type of stuff. Yes, so interesting. But the story goes deeper. So another article that talks about, this is on the Sci-Fi Wire. It's so cool. I didn't even know there was a Sci-Fi Wire, but there is.
It's nice.
The demon haunting an ancient exorcist library is proof we always believed in possession. So this article talks about that they found a ancient cuneiform. The cuneiforms are from Samaria. In ancient Mesopotamia, however, symptoms related to abnormal behavior and involuntary movement were considered to have been inflicted upon a person by supernatural force. So this cuneiform, which they're called the Bennu, was depicted a 2,700-year-old tablet, and it was found in the library of the Assyrian exorcist family. I don't know about that. I mean, I know the Assyrians, but that there was an exorcist family. Okay, whatever. You know, that's cool.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, there's an image of a demon in the cuneiform. So there's kind of like a drawing, an ancient drawing of a demonic form. What's particularly unique about this demonic time period is the purpose of the healer who created the image. So the healer and the patient would work together to create what the demon looked like so they could create the right spell to get rid of it, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, I like that. That's cool. I want to find the modern equivalent of that.
Well, that's kind of what I do when I draw pictures for space program insiders. Let's work it out.
Let's work it out. Together, we will create
I'm a
new demon.
I'm a modern day exorcist, guys.
I like it.
All right, so this specific one, of course, you'll be able to read this article and look at the picture yourself. This particular one, it has a head of a dragon, an Assyrian snake-dragon hybrid that was thought to have has dragon horns, has a long neck, a forked tongue. Its hands look human, and it appears to have like lion's forelegs and back legs, and it has talons. So it's kind of scary.
Sorry, as you were explaining that, I was just thinking, it has the head of a lion and the body of a lion.
Exactly. It's so weird, right? It's so weird. Anyway, so I'm bringing these up because it's digging in the dirt, and what I'm trying to say is that the idea that humans get possessed, whether you're like, well, that's silly. I mean, that person probably just had epilepsy or something, and then now they have a demon inside them, but they didn't because they're it's old and they don't understand science. But even today, people believe. I mean, maybe not everybody, but there's a lot of people that believe that like when you get sick, it's actually a demon inside of you. Taking over your body and making you sick. So it's not like an old concept. It's something new. It's a form of possession. So they took it very seriously, and they documented it, and they wanted to come up with the solution to how to get rid of these demons that were inflicting humans.
Very interesting. That's going to be an excellent segue for what I'm going to talk about.
Okay, sorry. So, Josh, you've got something similar, except it happened this year, right?
Well, yeah, I got a personal thing that happened to me recently, and then a story that's really awesome from a couple years ago. So, first of all, yeah, the last month and a half, I've been feeling a little blue. I thought the COVID anxiety was getting to me, and I've been feeling anxiety and weird feelings, and all of a sudden it tipped into something else I like to call the big D. Depression, negative thinking.
Ooh, the big D.
Different big D.
The last...
Okay, we were all scared. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. What happens? You get sad and then it grows? Is that what happens?
No, that'd be horrible.
Okay, so all right, so the big D happened, and then what's the big D?
All right,
the big D.
All right, the big D was last month and a half. It went from just anxiety about COVID and the fires and the election and the end of the world, and it slipped into more of like a depression, a classic depression. Which, I mean, I've stared down that gun barrel before. That sounded like a suicide joke. Let me back up. That's not what I meant. I meant like I've been depressed before, so I knew what that was. And I sensed it, and it was coming, and I was like, no, I'm too old for this shit. My life is good. I'm in shape. I have a job. I have good friends. I have a beautiful wife. I have kids. There's nothing really on paper for me to be depressed. I'm not trying to get over some childhood trauma. So once you go down the list, and Melissa and I, we talked about this, like if you go through your whole checklist and everything is like checked off that should be good, you should obviously see a mental health professional and blah, 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 all that shit you're supposed to say. But what I'm going to say happened to me was demonic. What happened was Melissa, after I was acting really weird for a while there, I randomly
freaked
felt
out a little
nauseous.
bit.
Yeah, I was just nauseous one afternoon for no reason. I had a headache.
Demon.
And Melissa's like, "You're talking to a psychic, Josh. God damn it, enough of your shit." And I was like, "All right, fine, stop yelling at me." So she,
Why are you yelling?
Lady boss.
So you hooked me up with Sonia Grace, who, thank God, you hooked me up with her because she cleared me. So Sonia Grace is many things. I think the right way to call her is a psychic and an intuitive and a healer, I would say, kind of in some ways. Because she
intuitive healer, yes.
Yeah, intuitive healer. And she's super awesome. I talked to her, and basically she cleared me psychically and told me that I had some sort of dark alien entity presence above me, sucking from me, like feeding off my negative energy. It's been there for a little while. It implanted alien implants in my head, my heart, and my eye, which was bizarre to hear. And she cleared them. She cleared the implant. She cleared this demon. She said it may have came from an attachment from someone I work with accidentally, just kind of floating around the office. And once it saw that I was in a down spot, once it saw that I was anxious and a little depressed, it immediately hooked onto that and made it 20 times worse. Amazingly, though, I don't know if it's real or not, but Sonia, as soon as she identified it as a demon or an alien thing, it made it so much easier to attack. She cleared it, and I honestly felt better. I felt better the next morning, that night, the next day, and it almost 100% went away, to be honest. I feel so much better. So I have to thank Sonia for that. And that's not a bunch of bullshit, because it was so much easier to tackle something when you think it's like a demon or an alien. That's like some sort of thing you can visualize and go after, instead of just vague depression. Vague anxiety.
How do you fight
sense.
anxiety? How do you fight anxiety? How do you fight that? You're
Right.
I have anxiety. It's great.
I know. Like, I work out, I
No.
meditate, I like talk to people. I'm generally friendly and nice. I think positive. Nothing